My name is Damo,
I'm cool. I'm Just.
and we are Financially Lit. Welcome to episode 10. My name is Damo,
I'm cool. I'm Brian.
and we are Financially Lit. Today we have a very special guest with us today, Andre McCallum Jr., author, artist, owner of Andre McCallum Agency, right here from Toledo, Ohio. Born and raised?
Yep.
Born and raised.
Born and raised.
We're excited to have you a part of the show, man. Thank you for coming.
Listen, I love Toledo. I'm proud to be from Toledo.
Yeah?
You just make me smile. Born and raised. I own it.
Yeah. Okay, so before we dive into the book and your music, give us a little background. Let us understand who you are as a person.
Husband, father, 3. I own an agency I'm contracted with an insurance company called American Income Life. And, I grew up in Toledo, born and raised, went to Stewart, went to Jones, went to Libby, graduated from Libby in 07.
Yep.
I was one of the last classes to graduate.
Yeah,
right?
before they tore it down.
Before they tore my school down. So, man, I'm proud to be from the city. And as I got older, I had my son right after I graduated, and it literally changed my life because I wanted to break a cycle. I was focused on providing.
Mm-hmm.
So when I had him, I was 19, and I had been out of school for about a year and a half, and I was thinking, what can I do for work?
Right.
Am I gonna go to the military? Am I gonna work at Chrysler? Right? Am I
Right.
gonna get one of these jobs so I can provide?
Right.
And I got that phone call for that insurance company. Completely changed the game. Immediately, I stopped going out, stopped hanging out with the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
I started surrounding myself around multi-millionaires, successful people,
Mm-hmm.
people that actually grew up with both parents, people that actually grew up with integrity and morale.
It's hard to find right
Yeah.
there.
It's hard to
Yeah.
find.
Yeah.
Coming
And,
up with a 2-parent household. Yeah.
I grew up in the inner city of Toledo on the south side, and I got involved, jumped off the porch at 11. So at 11 years old, I was gone. Mama didn't care where I went, and got involved with gangs, and I was expelled from elementary. So I was expelled from Stewart. Stewart is now an all-girl school, but back when I went there, it was like one of the worst schools in the city, for sure, like right there smack in the hood. And man, I mean, I had a tough childhood just like everybody else growing up in the inner city.
Yeah.
But what separated me was I escaped that box accidentally.
Yeah.
Because I started surrounding myself around different people, and once I started doing that, I started doing different things. And when you do different things, you get different results.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I didn't even realize what was happening and what was taking place. But before you know it, I'm now making more money, saving more money. I'm moving out the hood. I'm moving my mother out the hood. And now I've lived in 4 states since then. Now I live in Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
nice, man.
That's
awesome.
nice. That's real nice. So, what made you just? I know you said you was given an opportunity, but I'm sure that it sounded like that wasn't something you always thought about doing.
Yeah.
So, what made you like? You know what? I'm gonna just try it. I'm gonna just take that risk, even though it's something that I've never wanted to do in life. Let me just try it out. Let me just see.
Well, I always believed I could do anything. So there was really nothing that I didn't think I could do.
Right.
Okay.
I was always good with people. I always had people skills. Had a personality, and I had a strong work ethic. So from boxing, I used to box. I played basketball for Libby. I used to box. So I had a athlete's work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately they told me I could make $1,000 a week. I'm 19, 20 years old. I'm like, you mean 1,000? Like 1,000 with a comma, like one
Right.
comma
Yeah.
000.
Yeah.
And I took a chance.
Okay.
So I believed in myself, and that's what's the number one thing, and that's the first chapter of my book is believing. You gotta believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, you dedicate yourself, you can do anything you put your mind to.
Okay.
It sounds cliche, but it's not. Like, you can literally do anything you put your mind to.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
We'll be reading these books. So
Yeah.
You can put your mind to whatever you want to do in
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Books are the best mentor. So I tell people they're like, well, Andre, I don't have any mentors. I don't have anyone to look up to.
Yeah.
Pick up a book. Any book that you read by someone successful, they're giving you the blueprint on what they did to become successful.
Mhm.
So you don't need a mentor that grew up in your household, or you don't need a mentor in your school. Any book, any industry that you're in, or anything that you're passionate about, if you actually start reading books from that category or in that industry, dude, you take off. You take off because the knowledge that's in the book is going to make you a better person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So if I had to give any advice to young people, young men and women, to read books, invest in yourself. The more knowledge you got, the more powerful you are.
So what do you say to children, because we what we base our mission around Financially Lit is financial literacy. And a lot of things you have to read to grasp that knowledge.
Yeah.
What would you tell that young kid that I want a bag, or I want some money, I want to be, because they probably look at you and be like, he got the cars, he got the house, he got the everything. Like, how do I do it? Like something like you saying you got it through books. You know what I'm saying? How does that young boy or that young girl figure it out?
They gotta invest in themselves, and what I mean by that is they gotta number one, read. Mm-hmm. And as they read, they'll get knowledge, and they'll start doing things that other people around them is not doing. So let me give you an example. Let's say I want to get into stocks, because there's so many different industries. Let's say I'm selling clothes. Let's say I start an online store selling T-shirts, right? Mm-hmm. All you got to do is start reading about other people that's been successful in that industry, and they're literally going to tell you step by step what they did to get success, and you just implement it.
Right.
You just implement it. And I don't care what business you get in, it's going to be tough. Mm-hmm. There's going to be times when you broke. There's going to be times when your debt, your credit is screwed up because you're maxing out your credit card so that you can have cash flow. There's going to be things that happen, so you just got to keep going. Right. You can't give up. You got to go through the debt. You got to skip funerals. You got to skip birthday parties in the club. Like, there was a time where I didn't go to funerals. I said, I'm not going to everybody that died funeral. I just can't go anymore. There's too many people that I know that's passing away. If I go to every single funeral, every single weekend, I'm not going to be able to accomplish what I want to accomplish. So I had to stop going to funerals. I had to stop going to parties. I had to stop coming to Toledo. So it was a lot of things that I had to stop doing.
You had to separate
yourself. I had to separate myself. And, it's a gift and it's a curse, because you see all the people you kind of grew up with doing their own thing, and they kind of like looking at you like, I don't know if you're still the same Dre or you still the same person, but life is a long game. So the number one rule is to get accomplished as fast as possible in life, so you can enjoy the rest of your life. So be accomplished as fast as possible. If I was to take any successful CEO that's in their 60s or 70s and ask all of them, if you had one wish, what would it be? I guarantee you they would say, take me back to when I was 19, 20 years old with the knowledge that I got, so I can do it all over again. So that way I can get these millions and then spend time with my family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that would be my advice to a young person. Like, invest in yourself. Spend money. Like, don't save money. Like, it's important to save money so that you can have cash flow, but put the money back into yourself. So read books. Spend time picking the brains of someone. Go to seminars. Go to workshops. Get your teeth fixed, buy jewelry, whatever that makes you pop to the point that people look at you and go, wow, this dude is special. This chick is special. This person's special. Right. That's what you want, because anything that you sell, people actually listen to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a question. For those who, you know what I'm saying, that are in the city or from Toledo, those who have the mindset that you can only make it here, how did you expand to be able to thrive in other cities and states?
Well, it's a skill that you got to learn first. So it don't matter where you're at. You got to develop a skill. So I was in the insurance industry, so I had to learn how to walk into somebody's house and sell them insurance before I go. So I had to literally master sales. I had to master and be persuasive enough to tell somebody that they didn't think they needed anything, that they need something and they need to do it now, and I'm not coming back.
Right.
Not coming back.
So you didn't take no for an answer.
If they already got it, I'm going to show them how they don't have enough.
Right,
or I'm going to show them how they got the wrong type and how they need mine to make everything that they have whole or full circle, right? So it's always a reason to sell. It's always a reason to protect. And I got really good at that. And I literally, that's what I was doing when I was 20, 21, 22, 20. Everybody think overnight success. So people say, dang, Dre, man, no, I was 20 years old doing this, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. They weren't seeing that. I was MIA, I was gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now I'm at a point where you can drop me off in any city or any state in America. As long as I got my little insurance bag and a car to Uber around and sell appointments, I'll make money, I'll provide for my family. So it was a skill first. And once you learn the skill, now you can teach somebody else how to do it, and that's where the money's at. When you can teach somebody else how to make money, like if I can teach you how to pay your bills, I'm not going to have to worry about my bills. And that's what I learned. It's like that in anything. Like, let me give you an example. I get a lot of people call me and say, Andre, man, I'm thinking about doing Airbnb. I'm thinking about, renting out a home, doing this. I can't tell you anybody that's millionaires that's making money off renting out homes. I just can't. I can't tell you anybody that's doing that. Right. I can tell you, I know millionaires that's teaching people how to rent out their homes and make money. You You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I know the people that's teaching you how to do it, and you paying them a fee to learn. You
Okay.
paying them a fee. Teach me how to do this. Teach me how to do it. Them the people that's making the big money. And that's what I started doing in my insurance industry. Like once I figured it out and I had it down pat and I was out there crushing it, I'm like, let me build a team. Let me teach this person, this person, this person how to do what I did. And before you know it, I was taking people that was making 10, 12, 15 bucks an hour. Now they're making six figures. Now they're making 200,000 a year and they thanking me for it. When you're able to make somebody else money, you become so much you become so valuable that you have no choice but to be successful yourself.
I like
So
that.
it's the skill first. You need the skill. You need
Yeah,
the
I like
skill.
that.
Because I always like thought about that as far as just coming from a small city
Yeah.
and just trying to build your name, trying to build your brand, but
Yeah.
how far you can make it expand is stepping outside the perimeter of the city that you live in. And I feel like here at Toledo, some of us struggle with that, or some of us don't know how that avenue is gonna look once we. Oh, I'm here in this new city. I don't know how it's gonna go for me because this is all I know.
Yeah.
So
They got to invest in themselves first. So I see a lot of people start businesses that don't know what the hell they're doing. Like I see it all the time. And I'm like, shoot, all right, go for it. Like this is hard. Like starting a business, like it's so many different statistics out there. 50% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. A certain percentage fell in the first year. Like it's so many statistics out there because it's tough. It's not easy.
Yeah,
You
it's
need
definitely
money.
not.
You need money. You need cash flow. And if you got the money and you don't have knowledge, it's only a matter of time before you do something to screw your business up.
Right.
So my biggest advice to people that's jumping into business, every single day I literally get an invite to a new business page. Every single day. My Facebook friends got new business pages. I'm like, invest in yourself, man. You gotta learn. You gotta learn so that you don't have unnecessary trial and error. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because everything is not a learn and go. Everything you gotta learn and grow too. Because I realized that my first couple of years of my business, I kind of just jumped out there, but I didn't have the knowledge that I have now to what I work for. Now I gotta have my steps in order so I can keep that. And I just feel like with that information, that just I needed clarity on that. And I feel like the viewers will need it as well. So
Yeah. Like
that's tough.
I've moved to 4 different states, and all people are the same. Like when I was working in Michigan, they were the same. Husband, wife, kids, same. It was all the same. Single person, retiree, military vet. Everybody's the same.
Yeah.
And then I went to Missouri, and I was working in Missouri. Same thing. Everybody's the same. Then I went to Illinois. Same thing. Then I'm in Virginia. In Ohio, everybody's the same. So once you got the skill and you got it figured out, you can go anywhere you want.
Okay. So in doing this book, and I had the opportunity to glance over a few of the chapters you had. Believing, being coachable, changing where you were raised to think, separating personal from business, sacrificing, and saving your money. A few things that stood out to me was the believing part, taking that risk, which we covered a little bit of that where you said you took that leap out on selling insurance and leaving your hometown and separating yourself. What are some other risks that you had to take? It could be a financial risk. It could be, because I know to leave, you ain't just up and leave. You had to make sure you had some stuff in order. And if you didn't, you struggled a little bit. So talk about that.
We recording?
Yeah.
I mean, just as far as the risks, I was so good at what I did by the time I moved that really the only thing that I was doing was leaving behind family. It's like, all right, I'm about to leave my mother. I'm about to leave my nephew, my sister. I'm about to leave friends behind. Really, when it was time for me to move, I was ready to go. And when you move, it actually makes you more focused because you don't get distracted. Right. You can't stop over your buddy's house and chop it up with him for 2 hours. You're not going to go to the mall and see people you know and start chopping it up. Like when you live somewhere else and you don't know nobody there, you working.
Right.
Yeah. So in my industry, I'm going door to door selling people stuff. So I got appointments. So I go to this house, meet with them. I go to this house, meet with them. And in Toledo, if you go to somebody's house and they're not home, they reschedule with you. You got nothing to do for an hour. Right. That's not good in Toledo because I know everybody. Yeah. So I mean, I remember there was times where it'll be Saturday and I'm hustling, and I get rescheduled and I see everybody hooping at the park. I pull over. I got shoes in the trunk. I throw my shoes on the hoop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That wasn't happening out of town.
Right.
So when I went out of town, I actually got more focused. But the biggest things that I'll tell people if they're looking to move out of town is that obviously you want to be financially in a position that you're not worried about money. That's the first thing. If you got to move out of town and worry about money, you can still be successful because there's plenty of people who tell stories, but it's hard. You're struggling.
Yeah.
You almost homeless. You know, and that's tough. I wouldn't recommend that. I'm all about saving money, putting yourself in a position that you meet a savings goal. So when you make certain steps and you do certain things, you do it the right way, and you're not out there with lack of integrity doing stuff that you shouldn't do, because that's what happens when you need money. When a person needs money, I don't care who they are. They can be a pastor. When they need money, they like, I'll just do this. Ain't nobody gonna see it because I need this money. Yeah. But when you comfortable, you got money saved, now you like, all right, that's not the right thing to do. I'm not gonna force that. I'm gonna do this way. You handle things better when you got money saved. So my best advice, if somebody want to move and they want to move out of town, first off, I would make sure that I'm very knowledgeable in that industry before I just move. I wouldn't want to move somewhere and then try to learn.
Right.
Like, I'm going to learn now, and then when I move, I'm just ready to work. Right. I'm ready to hustle and grind. And then I would have a support system. You need a support system. You need somebody that's going to watch the kids. You need commitment. You know, spouses, loved ones. You got to sell them just as much as you selling the customer or you selling the people at work. So your spouse may not understand your vision the way that you understand it. So you got to constantly sell your spouse. Look, I need you to be here for me. I need you to watch the kids. And I want to tell you a story that's not in the book. When I started working at American Income Life, I was with my wife, and we had just met. And I told her, I said, I don't want my kids going to daycare. So could you please watch the kids at home? Could you watch them here? I promise you, within 6 months, I'm going to be making $200,000, $300,000 a year. This is back in 2012, 2013. I said, I'm going to be making $200,000, $300,000 a year, and I'm going to be working 30 hours a week. I promise you. So at the time, my wife was probably like 20. She didn't really know what was going on. She was like, all right, you say you're going to be making this? All right. Yeah. But I did it.
Right.
But when I did it, I got promoted. So now I had to come back with her with another. Now she wanted to go to school. So now she's like, hold on, you told me we was going to be doing this. I'm ready to go to school. What's that? So I had to resell her again, and sometimes that can hurt your relationship. So you want to definitely have support system. You want to have things written out. You want to have plans. Hey, honey, I'm going to do this for a year. I'm going to do this for 6 months. We're going to do this. This is the plan. So that you don't lose your support. Because once you lose your support, you can kiss your business out the window. It's going to make it that much harder.
That's important. I think you might be probably the first person to say, don't move, you know what I'm saying, if you don't have the financial means. Because we hear about all these different success stories and about people lived in their cars for this amount of time. They was broke.
You don't hear about the people that's homeless though on drugs.
Yeah,
you don't hear about them.
Yeah.
So
and I think it kind of, in a way, kind of flipped the switch a little bit in how we think a success story is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Where we can just go and just
everything
just gonna happen, and you like, nah, like let's kind of change that mentality and let's prepare ourselves before we just go out, and then we won't have to be forced to do things that we wouldn't want to do.
Yep.
I think that's very important. In commitment, making sure you having that support system around you, because support goes a long way.
Yep.
And it's just that sometimes support is what just keeps me fueled. So it's days that I wake up and I just be like, oh man, but then my wife might be like, let's go, let's get to it. And I'm like, that's the fuel that I need. You know what I'm saying? That's all I needed to keep going. So I think that's very important. Another thing you talked about in your book was submitting to the system. Now, I didn't really get to like digest a little bit on submitting to the system, but when I read that part, submitting to the system, I was like, I ain't never heard nobody say submit to the system before. People always want to reprogram the system, but you said submit to the system.
Yeah.
So can you elaborate a little more on that, on what you mean by that?
Yep. So like, let's say for an example, typically people that work in McDonald's, they're either really old or really young, right? Typically you go to McDonald's right now, you see a 15, 16-year-old working behind the counter, you see someone that's retired for real, right? But every single McDonald's operates the exact same way. The Big Mac is made the exact same way. Double cheeseburger made the exact same way. Nobody gets hired and it's like, you know what? Let me go ahead and put I'm gonna go ahead and put my grandmama's recipe on this cheeseburger. Because if you do it and the customers don't like it, what happens?
You get fired, it complains.
It hurts you. It hurts the company.
Business.
So your grandmama's recipe isn't proven. And that's what people don't understand is like, I talked about unnecessary trial and error. If you already got a business that's successful and you're seeing them generate billions of dollars, why would you go into that business and say, I'm going to make a new sandwich? You don't know if your sandwich is proven. You don't know if the world is going to like your sandwich. You don't know if your sandwich is profitable. Mm-hmm. So it's like that in any business. And if there's no system for you to submit to, you need to create one. You need to create a system. So it's almost, that chapter is like a 2-part chapter. It's almost like submit to it or create one. But you never want to reinvent the wheel. Okay. You don't have to.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Gotcha.
So like in my industry, when I came into the sales industry, like I said, I was surrounded by multimillionaires. You know, I went to the office and I was surrounded by 6-figure income earners and 7-figure income earners, and they were crushing it. So I literally came in with my notebook and I'm just taking notes. I'm like, hey, what's going through your mind when people say this? Like, I didn't want to know what people said. I wanted to know what people thought. Like, tell me what you're thinking. Like, tell me your mind frame when somebody tell your mindset when someone tells you this. And what ended up happening was I literally was a student and I took notes and I read the notes daily. If you take notes, it's important that you read those notes daily. It should be a certain time throughout the day, whether it's between 8 and 9 in the morning. I used to read notes from 10 to 12 at night, where you just read notes from successful people that you took during workshops or that you took reading books, so that those notes, will absorb
in your head,
into your mind.
Yeah.
And you write it down.
You will get to a point where you like, dude, who told me that?
Yeah.
You like, you gonna think you made it up. Like if you read something long enough,
yeah.
I don't care if I said it, you're gonna be like, did I say that?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's gonna become you, and before you know it, you'll be telling it to somebody else.
Wow.
Yep. So that's what I mean by submit to a system. Like, don't try to reinvent the wheel.
Okay. You are definitely the epitome of what I would say financially lit is. You're a business owner. I've even seen you do. You have like a side business with your son with boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, like so. You do a lot of different things, you know, and it seems like you don't take no for an answer, and you definitely don't second guess yourself in anything that you do, which is dope. That's just amazing, man. I've watched you a lot, and I'll sometimes take a little bit of notes too on you a little bit, like, because I've seen where he came from, you know what I'm saying, and just to see where he is today, that is amazing, you know what I'm saying, to me, and the fact that he just never gave up, and he's telling us how he did it, he's giving us the blueprint in his book, as well as in this recording right now, and just letting us know that sometimes you have to separate yourself, sometimes you have to just take risks, sometimes you need commitment, sometimes you need support, sometimes you need to not tend to everyone else's comfort, to get whatever done. You got to get it done on your own, and you taking over a industry that was just brought to you. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't something something you dreamed of doing. You know what I'm saying? It was brought to you, and you took the time to learn it, not just to learn it to get by, but you took over. Like you have your own company. So like, it's just, I don't know. I'm excited just talking to you. So.
I've had my individual company now in Richmond for a year. I owned another company that was similar, but it was in Missouri and Illinois. I bought out offices in Missouri and Illinois, and I was there for 2 years. So total, I've been an owner with that business for 3 years. I've been an owner. My Boxing Black Belt is a manufacturing company that we manufacture boxing equipment and apparel. So I sponsor kids all throughout the United States, some of the best kids, my son being one. And I provide them uniforms. You know, I help give them money to go to tournaments. And the reason I do it is because a lot of these bigger brands like Tidal, Ringside, no disrespect to them, they're great companies, but they shine the spotlight on kids that got a big following. That's all they care about.
Yeah, it's a numbers game.
Yeah, they put the spotlight on the kids that got the big following because they figure, all right, if they wear my stuff, then boom, everybody will see it.
Right.
Me, I'm the opposite. Yeah. Me, I'm the opposite because I understand all the kids that got the big following, they're not the best kids. Not all of them. Yeah. All of them aren't. Yeah. So some of the kids that don't have a following be the best kids that win every tournament. Yeah. That's why I won't wear my stuff, because when you get to the tournaments, they watching the kids that they know can fight. They like, oh yeah, little Nino about to fight. So all the kids when my son fight at the tournaments, it be sometimes 1,500 kids there at these tournaments.
What?
You'll see like tons of them running to the ring so they can watch him fight.
For real?
You know what I mean? So that's why I started sponsoring these kids, because I want to help the ones that's not being helped. They deserve it. You know what I mean? But it's just the beginning. You know, I'm 30. I'll be 31 next week. And
Happy early birthday.
thank you. 31, chapter 31. And like I told you before, it's about being accomplished as soon as possible. I feel like I got 10 years to really motivate the youth. You know, once you get about 40, once you can't be in the club with the kids, they don't listen to you no more. They don't.
Yeah, I remember you said that before to me. Yeah,
Really?
it was like, yeah, it was like, you wanna be the one that's approachable.
Yeah.
You don't want to come off intimidating to where no one wants to talk to you, and you want to be able to hang out with them too in the club, and not make it seem like you just this big shot and they can't come to you for
I've
advice.
met some people like that.
Yeah.
That one, that first impression mean a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the most successful people that I know.
Arrogant.
Well, that's just true, but I wasn't gonna say that. There's some arrogant people.
Yeah.
But some of the most successful people that I know, like personally, like I can hit them up right now.
Yeah.
They're the most genuine people, and they embrace everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a guy named Simon Arias that I respect a lot, multi-millionaire, super successful. And if he walks in a room, before he sits down, he's gonna hug and kiss. I don't care if it's 50 people in the room. He's gonna literally walk, hug, and kiss every single person in that room.
Wow.
And the way the universe works, since he's like that, now if he's in a room by himself, and those same 50 people walk in, guess who they notice?
Him.
They notice him. Oh, Simon, because he always speaks to them. So it's things that I've seen very successful people do, and I pick up on. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna show everybody love. Because when you show people love, they give it to you back. Now, if I walk around like, yeah, I got money, I do this, I do that, I'm successful, people are gonna be like, screw you and your success. Nobody don't even want to hear about it.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
So I feel like if there's anybody that's acting like that, they're not gonna be successful too long, or they're gonna piss a lot of people off and hurt a lot of people.
Okay.
You know?
Now, I give me your take on the definition or the image of someone having money, because I have this debate with a lot of people, and the richest people I know, just like me.
Yeah.
But to maybe people in our community, if you don't got on this, and that, you ain't got no money.
Right.
So what's your take, or what would you say to our audience when it comes to that stigma of who has money? Because you don't want to, and I say that, and I say that because you don't want to. I don't want people to miss their blessing on something because they thought somebody that could help them wasn't that person.
Right. Yeah.
If you know what I'm getting.
Well, here's what I can say. That's a fun topic, right?
Yeah.
So all money isn't the same first, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
I want people to realize all money is not the same. You can't compare it. All right, and let me tell you what I mean by that. Let's say, let me see your wallet, brother. This one right here. So let's say I made this money cutting grass, right? And I had to cut 20 yards, and it took me forever to do it. Now let's say this was $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
I busted my butt to get this $10,000. Let's say this is another $10,000, all right, that I made from selling books.
Mm-hmm.
All right, all I did was make a post, and everybody bought it. All right, which $10,000 was easier to make? Out of the two. The $10,000 from just selling the book.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna spend this money different from how I spend this money.
Got you. Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's what a lot of people don't understand. So what I mean by that is, if it's hard for me to get this money and I'm busting my butt grinding, I'm not gonna spend this money. I'm gonna hold on to this money.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The money that's coming in easier, that is coming in from passive income, from me selling a book, for me I got an online course, from a speaking engagement. I'm gonna spend that money.
Yeah,
You know, it's different.
I say that a lot. Easy come, easy go.
It's easy, you know what I mean? It was easier to make. This money
Right.
is coming in easier, so I'm gonna spend it. So in my business, you have residual income. You have monthly. You have money that come in every month, whether you work or not.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's money that could be spent differently compared to money that you have to go out there and get to generate your cash flow.
Right.
But let's talk about the whole thing with people having money. The truth is, people look up in our community. People look up to who? Athletes,
Mm-hmm.
rappers.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really look up to too many entrepreneurs. The average career for a rapper is 3 to 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
For some, 1. So if you take the average rapper that's hot right now, they're not going to be hot a year from now. So people forget. You see all this money that they got, all this jewelry that they got. Right now, I got a necklace on that I got from the Dominican Republic. I paid $4 for it. And I have a 7-figure net worth. And I paid $4 for it, and that's what I got on my neck. I'm not gonna go out and spend $100,000 on a necklace or $20, $30, $40, $50,000 for a necklace because that's not my industry. It's not gonna impress anybody in my industry.
Right.
Nobody in the business,
Nobody
nobody cares
Yeah.
about a gold necklace in my industry.
Yeah.
It makes no difference. We care about Bentleys, we care about Lamborghinis, we care about $1 million houses. That's the stuff that we care about.
That's stuff I care about.
That's the stuff that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm building a home from the ground up.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like the house that I'm about to build in Virginia, that we build in Virginia, is sick. Like I can't wait for it to be built so I can just, me and my wife can take that picture right in front of it and say, this is what I've been working so hard for.
Mhm.
So I got, you know, we got different things that motivate us. But as far as what we're used to, man, we're used to people making money. And the thing is that it takes, when you buying a lot of clothes and you wearing Gucci, Ferragamo, red bottoms, all this different stuff, you spending money. So I don't care how much money you making. When you spending that type of money, it's hard for you to keep the money.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So when I see somebody that got a ton of stuff on, the first thing that comes through my mind is, damn, they spending their money stupid. That's the first thing that comes
Yeah.
through my mind. That's
Yeah.
just me.
Yeah.
So if I see somebody that they got this on or they got a fit that costs $10,000, I'm like, that's stupid. That's just what happens to me. So as far as to answer your question and to wrap it up, what does it look like for somebody that has money? I would say, show me their house. Let me see their home. What do their investments look like? How much money is this person gonna have 10 years from now based on how they live in their life right now?
Mhm.
Because like I said before, people don't like to hear this, but this is true. Life is a long game. So you got to put yourself in a position that 5 years from now, you're not looking through the couch for change.
Right.
And that's what I want. I don't want to spend my money right now. I want to put myself in a position that when I'm 40, 45 years old, I ain't worried about making no money.
Yeah.
And that's what the goal should be. But instead, people live for the day. They live like they already made it. And I learned this the hard way, and it's in my book, Saving Your Money. I learned this the hard way. When I was 22, I was making six figures at 22 years old. I was clearing over $100,000 easy at 22. I was making more money than my mom and my dad combined. And I was taking the money, going to the casino. I'm at the crab table with 2,000 in the field. You know what I mean? 2,000 in the field. I got everybody like, uh-oh. And then they roll a 6. I'm sorry, but I can't let nobody know. Because everybody's like, oh, Dre got money. So now I take another 2,000 out. Come on, put it back in the field. I'm blowing my money. And it got to a point where I went from making $15,000, $16,000 a month. And I remember one month looking at my statement, and it told me that my deposits on average was $15,000, $16,000. My withdrawals was $16,000, $17,000. So just as fast as the money was coming in,
It was
it was going out.
Mhm.
So let me tell you why this is a problem, all right? We just got into something deep and we didn't even realize it. The reason why you can't live like that is because in business you have slumps.
Mhm.
I don't care what the business is, all right? I don't care what the business is. You're going to have a month where it's not as desirable as you want it. You know what I mean? So if you lose your cash flow because you're spending it carelessly, and then you have a bad month or a bad year, you may not even be able to continue your business. So you can unintentionally take yourself out the game without even realizing it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you an example about a sports team. Golden State Warriors, right? They was winning every year,
Right.
Yeah.
dominating
Yeah.
every year.
Right,
Splash Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Where the Golden State Warriors at now?
Gonna say who?
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
so just look at the Golden State Warriors. What if that was a professional boxer that was making tons of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Making tons of money, and then boom, they started losing. If they spending their money and the money stopped, what happens to their career?
Everything's
It's
stopped.
over.
Yeah.
They're depressed. They don't got money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that in business. If every single month my business is booming, but I'm spending the money as soon as it comes in. As soon as COVID hit and business slows down, nobody knew COVID was gonna happen.
Right.
Now I gotta close my doors to my business. Everything that I worked hard for, I put hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, into this business. Now I gotta throw it away. So successful businessmen, they don't spend their money. They want cash flow. They want money coming in,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the key. You cannot spend your money. You got to create a savings goal, and whatever that goal is, you got to work your ass off to get there. So if your savings goal is 10,000, get to 10 grand. Don't spend no money on nothing else. Don't buy nothing else you need. And then say, okay, when I get to 10 grand, the only thing I'm gonna pay for is my bills. I'm not buying no new shoes. I'm not buying no new car. I'm gonna hit this $10,000 savings goal. And then once you hit 10 grand, take it to 20. Say, all right, I'm gonna get 20 now. I'm not gonna spend no money on nothing until I save 20,000. Once I get 20,000, then I'm gonna get me maybe something new that I want. When you get 20, push it to 50. I'm gonna save 50,000. I'm not spending no money. All right. It's easier than what y'all think it is.
Yeah,
all right?
yeah.
You save it. You don't spend no money, right? Once you get to 50,000, say, you know what? Now I'm gonna do my business like this. Now I'm gonna not work on weekends. I remember there was a point. I told myself when I save 50 grand, I ain't working on weekends no more. So every single weekend I was working, I was grinding, I was away from home. As soon as I got $50,000, I started working weekends. Now I'm spending time with my wife. Now I'm spending time with the kids. I changed everything up. Then it was 6 figures. Then I saved 6 figures. I said, when I save 6 figures, I'm gonna buy me a new car.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I bought. This was back. I'm telling you guys, stuff happened years ago. This is back in 2016, 2017 is when I first saved 6 figures for the first time.
Wow.
Wow.
My wife looked at me like I was crazy. Every single week, she see the money, so every single week she, babe, can I buy this? I'm like, no, we don't need it. So now it's like I'm trying to get her on this board, on this. Come on, don't spend the money, because once I say yes that quick, now I'm gonna be like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and buy this too, because I've been wanting to buy this. Before you know it, you 6,000 below.
Yeah.
Now you 4,000 below. No, don't spend no money. Hit those goals, and I promise you, when you hit those goals, you're gonna live your life completely different. You're gonna be financially free. You're not gonna worry about a dime.
Yeah. It's easier
I
said
like
than
how
done, because
it's
I got a
said
wife
is-
too that be like, can we I'll be like, no. Like I'm the no spender
You
in
the
the
no one?
household. I'm the no one.
Yeah.
She the one like, hey, I could really use this. But I mean we get into a place where if it's not needed, then we don't buy it overall.
Yeah.
So
it gotta be. Until
yeah.
you hit those savings goals.
Yeah.
I'm not buying nothing. I'm still like that to this day. I want to save $1 million. That's my goal. I gotta save $1 million. When I do that, I'm retiring my mama. That's the goal. Like, so I'm not buying stuff that I don't need. Every single month, I'm like, I'm gonna get my Bentley. I'm gonna buy a Bentley. I got a Mercedes now. I'm gonna buy a Bentley. No, I don't need my Bentley right now. I gotta save money. Save money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm happy I didn't get my Bentley, because every birthday I'm like, voice is like, get your Bentley for your birthday. Get your Bentley. Oh, you gonna kill him when you get this Bentley. I got
Oh,
real
you gonna
haters.
kill 'em.
We all got haters. If you
Yeah.
ain't got haters, you ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
So I got family members that's haters. I know they haters. And they motivate me. They literally fuel me, and I don't think they realize it. Like, I know you a hater. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. Like, I can see you looking at my status right now.
And you mad.
And you ain't liking it. You feel
Ignoring
me?
it.
I see you ignoring my status. I know it. You used to call me every single day. Now you don't call me. You boring. You got no life. You got no life. You used to call me every single day. Now you don't call me. I know what it is.
Yeah.
So you fuel me. You fuel me to work harder. So I'm like, I'm gonna get that Bentley. I'm gonna take that picture and I'm gonna tag you in it.
I really don't think people realize that actually fuels a person. Because I think I
fuels me.
said that in like a couple episodes ago, and I was
Come
like,
on.
that literally fuels
fuels
me
me.
too.
Negativity, I love it.
I was
Like, okay. Yeah, okay.
Oh, I can't do it.
I can't do this. All right.
All
I ain't gonna do this. All right.
I'm so
Yeah.
competitive. Like, I'm gonna tell you something. I've never told anybody this. 2 of the people that pushed me to be successful was my little cousin Robert Easter Jr.
Mhm.
and Eric
Oh,
Kennard.
that's your cousin?
Yeah, that's my little cousin.
I know Eric too.
Yeah, well, Eric Kennard, not my cousin. Ebony is.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've been knowing Eric Kennard since I was in high school. But
Yeah.
those dudes, like, I remember thinking about just doing a regular 9 to 5. Like, I worked in a prison before. I worked at the bank. I was thinking about being a TPD police officer. And the little voice was like, dude, you don't need to be successful. Like, read it in my book. It'll tell you. The little voice was like, you don't need to be successful. Like, just provide for your family. Like, those are the thoughts that you have in your head, right? And I remember seeing Ebony. He had just turned pro. He was going out of town. He was fighting. Everybody was supporting him. And I said, it ain't no way I'm about to watch this dude be successful and me just be average. Same thing with Eric Kennard. He was going to the Olympics.
Yeah.
I'm watching him. I'm seeing all this stuff. I'm seeing it. And it wasn't like I was hating on him. I'm just like, no, like, I needed to see that. Like, I needed to see somebody else, because if not, if it's a bunch of people that's like, man, I don't really care, you
Yes,
gonna be like, man, I don't really care.
You are who you are who you name.
Mhm.
You are
It's
who
almost
you
like
are.
going to the club, like an easy analogy. If the club was tonight, and all of you was like, man, I don't really feel like going, and I wanted to go, I'd be like, yeah, I'll just go tomorrow. Then.
Yeah.
But if all y'all like, man, let's go to the club, Dre, turn up, and I'm like, all right, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
That's how it is with being successful sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes if you're around a bunch of bums or a bunch of people that don't want nothing, you naturally like, it's cool. It's cool. I don't need to be successful.
Okay.
You start hating people that's successful because you're around people that's not.
Yeah. Y'all have anything to add to that? Okay. Well, go ahead and let our audience know what you got coming forward. You got the book, Getting to the Other Side. You got your album release coming. You got your birthday coming. You got a big shindig coming up where we going to celebrate you and all your accomplishments.
Man,
so let our audience know what you got coming forward and how they can reach out to you, because I'm sure after this people going to want to know some stuff.
Here's my best advice, and I'll just tell you guys too. I hope you guys use Getting to the Other Side like I saw you doing with other books. I think anyone that has young siblings, young children, if you somebody, a mother, father, and you got young kids, it's 15, 16, that can really read a book and really digest it. If they're at that age to really digest the book, I think my book is the perfect book, because I'm giving them the step-by-step instructions from how I went from being expelled from school, growing up in the inner city, being from the South Side, fighting, shooting, losing my brother, and to boom, all of a sudden changing my entire life. And you don't get a lot of people that's like that. Typically, when you read a book by someone that's successful in business, typically they came from money already, or they came from some type of different situation. It's different. You know what I mean? I don't read too many books from John Maxwell or Tony Dungy or one of these top authors, and they're like, yeah, my dad was on drugs. My mama was a single mama. I was fighting. I got expelled from school. They don't normally say this stuff in books.
Right.
You know what I mean? So for people with young children, people of all ages, anybody that aspire to be an entrepreneur or a business owner, I think they need to read my book, because I'm talking about how to build relationships, how to maintain relationships, how to be a professional, how to think. There's a certain type of mindset you got to have when you're a business owner. You know what I mean? It's a certain type of way that you have to be, or you're going to have a lot of problems. So my book is called Getting to the Other Side. And if you're already successful, this book is going to help you stay to the other side. Because there's a lot of people that have success and they got it overnight. And what I mean by that is they got the money overnight. Like, let's say you take a rapper, all right? I'm telling you right now, you sit Cardi B next to me, I'll run circles around her when it comes to talking about business. I'll run circles around her. She wouldn't be able to talk business with me. But she got more money than me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So somebody that's successful, they got the money, but maybe isn't that business savvy, you read my book, it's going to take you to another level. It's going to help you keep the money. But as far as my music, I just, because of COVID hurt a lot of people. I don't really believe in it, just so you know. The pandemic, that's what I believe in. I don't really believe that.
The pandemic.
I don't really believe it's as bad as people think it is. The media makes money for you to watch them. So every time you cut on the news and you say, oh, they're talking about COVID. Yeah, they have to talk about it because this is how they make money. So that's why it's on the TV right now. But, when I think about the survival rate and the diagnosis of the people getting diagnosed with COVID, and if you got a cold, you got COVID. If you got a runny nose, you got COVID. If you cough, you got COVID.
If you ain't got nothing, you got COVID.
Yeah,
pretty much.
It's like you stop hearing about regular deaths. Now everything is COVID deaths. But just not to get too sidetracked, but what was I saying before I brought up the COVID stuff? Y'all remember?
You were talking about the book and how we should talk.
Yeah, my bad. So COVID was kind of like a good thing for me because So COVID was kind of like a good thing for me because one, I saved more money during COVID. I didn't have to go anywhere. I didn't even have to get gas in my car. I went 2 months without getting gas, so I was able to save money during COVID. But most importantly, I was able to really sit down at home and get back to doing what I love, which is making music. So I started off rapping when I was 11, 12 years old, but I was rapping about stuff that everybody rapping about. Women, guns. I got some music still online from when I was 14, 15 that if you heard, you'd be like, dang, he was saying all that. Southside this, Southside that. We'll do this, we'll do that. That was before Chicago came out with the drills and the ops and all that stuff. I was still talking about that stuff. And when COVID hit, I had extra time on my hands. You stuck in the house, can't do nothing. I said, you know what, let me find a beat. And I made the first song, You Deserve, which is really motivational. I got a lot of companies playing this song for the recognition meetings. They video, they record it, send it to me all the time.
See, that's the type of audience you attract.
Yep.
That's good.
Yep. I got a song called Keep Going. It's just super motivational, man. I just shot a video in Dominican Republic to it. Beautiful experience. And I just dropped my album. It's hot. So when you guys come to the party Friday, I'm gonna be doing different songs. Like every 10 minutes of the hour, I'm gonna do 2 songs. Every 10 minutes of the hour, I'm gonna do 2 songs. Yeah.
Okay.
So 9:50, I'm gonna drop 2 songs. 10:50, I'm gonna do 2 songs. 11:50, I'm gonna do 2 songs.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. We had a guest on Tierra Armstrong. We was asking her how to reach kids, and she said music.
Yeah.
So the fact that, and I've heard your music too. Your music is like, you talk about some stuff that we need to hear. You know what I'm saying? And music is a way to not trick our brain, but like you said, when you write it down and you tell yourself, you know what I'm saying, after so long, you believe it. You know what I'm saying? So when you have that kind of formula to utilize music and put resources and information in there, to people don't have no choice but to listen, and then they risk to it so much it becomes repetitive and it becomes the right thing to do. I think that's very powerful. It's very inspirational, and I support you 1,000%, bro.
Right, thank you. You know, I understand audience. You know what I mean? Like, I don't expect really people that I grew up with in that culture to really play my music every day. You know, they're gonna listen to it because it's me. They're gonna say, "What Dre talking about? Let me see what he talking about." And then I can rap without cussing and not sound lame.
Right.
You know
That's the hardest part.
I know how to do it. I know how to put words together so it's still hot and I'm not cussing. And so I can get kind of both cultures, but I'm really focused on going back speaking to schools. So I want to be able to come to these schools, talk about my book, pass away books, and then perform before I leave. Like, there's no other motivational speaker that's making music.
Right.
Speaking. So I found a lane, and I'm at the very beginning of it, and I'm excited to do it over the next 10 years.
I like that you have you know your target audience, and you don't try to. I mean, if it cross over, but you're not forcing that crossover.
You'll go crazy.
Yeah.
You'll go crazy if you expect every audience to like what you're doing. You'll go crazy and be upset. You'll want to give up. So me being in sales, I understand what's important. Numbers. Yeah. Numbers. Focusing on people, giving people the best advice. When I was in sales, I didn't care who told me no. So I just gave people the best advice.
You learned that just from sales.
Yep. I just gave people the best advice, and if they took it, I was like, cool. If they was like, no, I don't want it, I'm like, I wish you the best. Right. And I was just always working. So I would see so many people throughout the week that I would run into more people that actually wanted it than people who didn't. And that's what I'm doing with my music and my books. So it's like, it's like my music is like, I'm not about to waste my time with them. I'm going to spend my time over here with this person. You know what I mean? This is the person that's vibing to it. Yep.
You just spoke to it. Well, thank you so much, Andre, for coming on. We appreciate you so much. By the time this come out, his book will be out. So get into the other side. On what platforms could they buy this book?
I want them to go to my website.
Okay.
All right. So my website is www.neverstopbelieving.me. Go to that website. Check out the book. If you decide to go to Amazon, you can do Amazon too. But it's better just to go right through the website. It's easier. It's more convenient. I got music videos up. I got bios. I got information about me, information about things that I'm doing. I'm about to plan some type of business boot camp, like some type of leadership conference here in Toledo.
Okay.
So literally, I'm gonna promote this for months. I want to bring aspiring and successful entrepreneurs into one building, and we just run workshops on communication, workshops on leadership, workshops on dealing with people, workshops on all type of stuff that people need on a day-to-day basis when they're in business. So just go to the website so you can find out everything that we're doing.
All right. Andre McCallum Jr., guys, thank you for tuning in to Financially Lit on YouTube. You can follow us on Facebook, Financially Lit 2020, on Instagram and Twitter, Financially Lit 2. We appreciate your love and support. My name is Damo.
I'm Cool.
I'm Brian.
And we are Financially Lit.